We live in a world that promises instant everything. So, what does spiritual maturity actually look like in the middle of all that? We're always told to grow, right? But the path can feel, well, pretty unclear, especially when there's all this pressure to have it all figured out like yesterday. Today, we're going to redefine that path. Have you ever felt this? I mean, really felt it. You look at someone you admire, someone who just seems to have this deep well of peace and wisdom, and this little voice inside just goes, yeah, I could never be that patient. Or that kind. I'll never be that mature. It's such a common feeling, isn't it? This huge gap between where we are and where we think we should be. And that feeling, that sense of inadequacy, really brings us to the main question. Is spiritual maturity all about having the perfect answers and a flawless life? Or is it something else entirely? Let's dive in and really explore what true spiritual growth is all about. Okay, so to get to the bottom of all this confusion around spiritual maturity, we've got to look at the world we're living in. We are absolutely soaked in what you might call a microwave culture. It's a society built on getting results right now. And believe me, that shapes our expectations for everything, including our faith. Just think about it for a second. You have a question, you pull out your phone, and boom, Google gives you an answer in less than a second. We're literally being trained to believe that information and solutions should be immediate. There's no time for waiting, for pondering, or for just being okay with not knowing. This culture also cooks up this illusion of the overnight expert. You scroll through social media and it seems like everyone has mastered some new skill or hit this major success in record time. But what's hidden? The slow, messy, frustrating process of actual growth. That's always just beneath the surface. So you have to ask, right? Has this mindset bled into our spiritual lives? Are we secretly looking for, the 3 easy steps to deep, lasting spiritual growth? Are we trying to microwave a process that was always meant for the slow cooker? All this pressure for instant results, it creates a really dangerous counterfeit. A version of maturity that looks amazing on the outside, but is totally hollow on the inside. So let's unmask a few of these common myths by putting fake maturity right up against the real thing. We've all seen this first one, haven't we? That need to perform, to always be the expert in the room, to win every single argument. But here's the thing. True maturity isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the humility to just be present, to actually listen, and to be able to say, you know what, I'm not sure, but I'm willing to learn. Next up is this myth that maturity means you never struggle. Fake maturity is all about projecting that invincible, perfect life image. But real, authentic growth, that happens when we're honest. True maturity means having the guts to be vulnerable, to be open about our fears and our failures, because that's where real strength is actually forged. Now this one is subtle, but it's so important. It is so easy to measure our spiritual health by our schedule, how many meetings we go to, how many things we're doing for God. But true maturity is less about the busyness of our hands and way more about the state of our heart. It's about who we're becoming on the inside when nobody's watching. So, if it's not about performance or perfection or being busy, what is the benchmark? Well, the Bible gives us a really clear, tangible blueprint for what authentic spiritual maturity produces. And the beautiful thing is, the fruit doesn't lie. The answer is found right here in this concept of the fruits of the Spirit. And listen, this is not a to-do list, it's a list of outcomes. It's 9 specific character traits that naturally grow in us as the Holy Spirit works in our lives. This is the real, tangible evidence of a faith that's actually mature. And here they are. Let's just sit with this list for a second, because this is the heart of the matter. Love, joy, peace. Then you get to forbearance, which is way more than just regular patience. It's this kind of tough, gritty endurance when things get really difficult. Then there's kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, which isn't weakness at all. It's strength under control. And finally, self-control. The crucial point is this. True maturity isn't measured by what you know or do. It's measured by how much you reflect these qualities. This is the goal. So how does this fruit even grow? Well, it's not in some perfect, stress-free greenhouse. This quote from the book of James nails it. Trials and tests, those are the very soil where this fruit develops. Facing a hard time isn't a sign that you failed. It's the gym where your spiritual muscles of perseverance and character actually get built. All right, so we know the goal is the fruit of the Spirit, and we know it grows through challenges. So how do we actually do this in our crazy, fast-paced world? The key The absolute key is to shift our whole mindset from microwaving to cultivating. This slide really lays out a whole new path forward. First, you gotta reframe your goal. Stop chasing that impressive spiritual resume and start focusing on developing your inner character, the fruit. Second, embrace the process. When you feel stuck, when you're in a trial, or just a long season of waiting, start to see it as an opportunity for cultivation. And third, practice patience. Be patient with yourself and be patient with God. This is farming, people, not fast food. It takes time. So, if you take one thing away today, let it be this. True spiritual maturity isn't something you achieve. It's something you cultivate. It's not a prize you win or a box you check off. It's a garden you tend, a slow, beautiful, and sometimes messy process of growth that happens over an entire lifetime. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Just look at your life right now, especially the parts that feel hard or stagnant. Which one of these 9 qualities, patience, kindness, self-control, which one might be the very thing that's trained to grow in you, right in the middle of your waiting? That's something to really think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.